Name is Karan Shah and I welcome everyone to my talk. Today I will be sharing you success story of our client who uses Odoo to enable digital payments for 150 plus merchants in Republic of Congo, Brazzaville. You can scan this QR code for any Q&A questions that you have, and this pad will be available in the later slides as well. So let's go into the agenda for the talk first. We will be talking about Neobis, that is us. We'll be talking about our client Insight Technologies and the solution that they have created called Payworld. Then I'll be explaining what is mobile money, the challenges that we faced while creating this solution, why they decided to go for Odoo, and the solution that we decided. So let's jump. My name is Karan Shah, as I told, and I'm a software architect and Odoo consultant working with Neobis Business Software Solutions, which is a renowned Odoo partner in Netherlands from 2004. We believe in providing best solution for our clients and fitting Odoo as per their requirement and as per the solution which fits best for them. Talking about Insight Technologies, so it's a fintech startup from founded by Sami in Republic of Congo, Brazzaville. He wished he could be here to represent himself, but well, he couldn't come, so I explain on his behalf. So Insight focuses on digital payments landscape in Republic of Congo and aims to provide a simple plug-and-play solution for all types of merchants. As part of the offering, they have developed products which are solving the issue of digital payments and deployed for 150 plus merchants. So before Insight, Sami used to run a travel agency and had clients from outside who were really frustrated to not being able to use their cards in Congo. And he also saw that mobile money is a very ongoing system, but it has been used only mainly for person-to-person payments and not used much in B2B or B2C landscape. And that is where he decided to start Insight Technologies in 2016. And after crossing multiple hurdles, they have started Payworld and Ampos in 2021. And so what is Payworld? So Payworld is a payment gateway that integrates with multiple mobile money systems, with cards and with the banks. And Ampos is a supercharged POS and e-commerce system based on Odoo that enables merchant to run their business efficiently and also take payments easily. So what is mobile money? Yesterday I came to know that mobile money might not be known to everybody, so I'll quickly explain what is mobile money. So mobile money is like an account or a digital wallet linked exclusively with your mobile, where you can add or withdraw money using local agents available all across the country, and you can use it to send or receive money to another mobile money account. So it is not linked with your bank or it is not cash, it's just a digital wallet linked with your mobile. Let's see the challenges that they faced. So first, they saw that there was less acceptance of digital payment systems in the businesses. People were very happy using their old pen and paper methods and even use Excel sheets to run their business. They saw that there is a lack of infrastructure around the digital payments, and then they saw that the businesses that are actually interested in switching to modern systems had to deal with complicated softwares, which made life much more difficult, as it was very hard for them to adapt and train their employees to use these softwares. So they brainstormed on these challenges and found their hero, that is Odoo. So why did they decided to go for Odoo? Well, it's a very easy software and has beautiful UI. It is very cost effective. Um, it is easy to configure, and most importantly for them was that it is easy to customize. It also has an advantage that there is a huge app store which can provide any missing functionalities for any vertical, but with our consultation they only add modules only when it is necessary, so that the system can still remain clean. So now we have decided that the base software would be Odoo, but they had to develop the ecosystem around it, and there were some technical challenges to that as well. So what was that? First of all, they needed to ensure that the transactions happening for each and every merchant were fast and separate. So if one merchant system is slow, or if the transactions are not happening on time, then it should not affect other merchants. It was also necessary that we enable the system to be separate, so that if a merchant requires some extra customization or extra workflow, then that can be added without affecting the workflow for any other merchant. Because we also had to deal with lot of different operators, lot of different mobile money systems who could change their format of the input data that is expected, or the response that they would provide. There was a need to have a full dynamic system which could make it easier for inside to change the data that is being sent, or the response that are expected, so that it can quickly be changed as per the changes that the operator does. And also included a possibility to have a quick turnaround time to introducing new payment channels, which happens a lot. And lastly, we needed a mechanism to take input from the end customer for the payment channels, and this input could be different for different payment methods. So sometimes it can be just a mobile number, or sometimes it can be something extra along with that. And this input would be required to be taken for both in-store sale happening via POS, or for an online sale happening via e-commerce. So these were the challenges that we faced, and so we decided to do a customization for this and develop the solution. So let's discuss the solution. So as part of the solution, we initially deployed Odoo 13 community, configured with Nginx to handle separate subdomains and map with correct instances. Later on, as part of the optimization, we installed and configured PG Bouncer to ensure that more database connection can be supported in the same server. So we configured one master instance which would handle all the SaaS operations. So Payworld, which is the payment gateway, would notify to the master instance whenever a new merchant is onboarded. This method would be secured with VPN between the connection, but it would also ensure that the authentic request is only processed by the master instance with the verification of encrypted tokens. And we use OCA's job queue module for most of the SaaS operations for the good performance. The payment part of each of the merchants is kept separate and doesn't involve the master instance directly. Although the master instance does poll each of the merchants instances to get an updated information about the balance that a merchant has, because it involves the settlement process from the master instance. And for each of the merchant, we created a separate instance of Odoo, and while the common modules were the same, the payment communication would happen directly between the merchant instance and the pay world, keeping the master instance free from getting overloaded. And this communication was also secured in the same way done previously. Now, on the module level, we had created separate models for the payment channels that would be needed, the parameters that would be needed, the charges that would be taken from the merchant or from the customer, and the responses that were expected. And we had created data files for every payment channels that were supported, and the predefined values for each of the parameters were also added as part of the module. Secondly, we would associate payment methods for the POS and e-commerce with each of these channels separately, so that the transactions can happen flawlessly for the POS and e-commerce. And then a customized template was created which would load appropriate input fields as per the channel selected and the parameters that are selected from the backend. This template then gets loaded onto the POS as part of an dialog, or in the e-commerce below the payment method. So let's see how the sign up journey happens for a merchant. So when a merchant is signing up on the pay vault, they have to send some information and some documents that are required as per the regulatory norms. And pay vault does a verification of the documents with the entered data using an external validation service. So as soon as the validation service responds back to pay vault that the documents are valid, it would create a merchant account first on pay vault, and on the very same moment it will notify to MPOS, that is the customized Odoo, that a new merchant has onboarded, and the new merchant instance would be created, which will then be updated with the correct pay vault details, which can help them to do the transaction instantly from the MPOS. And at the very same moment, a welcome email will be sent to the merchant for with their login details, and inside representative starts loading the products and doing any other configuration needed. But most of the time it's just the loading of product that needs to be done, as most of the system has been configured from the start itself. Now, once the merchant gets their own POS instance, the whole Odoo instance, the merchant can start using the POS itself, or the e-commerce itself directly. So now when a customer is buying something from the merchant is using the MPOS system. And if if the customer is deciding to go for the mobile money payment, then the customer's mobile number is asked, or any other parameters that are required or for the payment channel is asked. This happens manually, so the customer then needs to provide their mobile number, and the mobile number and all the order details are sent to pay vault, and based on that, pay vault sends the request to the mobile money operator. Meanwhile, the POS is now waiting for the response for the pay vault, so it's keep on polling for the response that is expected. And the pay vault sends the request to the appropriate mobile money provider, so it can be Airtel Money, MTN Money, or any of this mobile money provider. And once the provider gets this request, it sends a request to the customer on their mobile app, or in whatever way they are providing that mechanism, and the customer now needs to either accept or decline the transaction. So once the customer is accepting the transaction, or it is declining the transaction, the response is sent to pay vault, and pay vault sends the same response back to us instantly. So now that is again where the dynamic system is required to match the response with whatever has been configured as a successful or as an failed transaction status, because this changes sometimes with the some operators. So based on the response that is received and based on the configuration, the POS can now either validate the transaction and complete the order, or it can cancel the payment and let them retry again. So let me show you how it looks in real life. So this is the list of payment channels that are configured by default. So you can see all the payment channels are created as a separate model. Each of this channel have fields which where we can show the parameters that can be taken from the customer. It also has the fields to map all the responses that are expected, and it also includes field to include the charges that the merchant needs to pay. So either a merchant can decide if they want to absorb the charges or they want to let the customer pay the charges. So based on that configuration, the charges also show up in the POS, and the final amount gets changed accordingly. Sorry, I skipped. And this is the parameters model where you can define the parameters which can be used across multiple channels. So the mobile number, which is the most common parameter, is used for most of the payment channels. It also has possibility to define what type of input it is required, if there is any extra label that you want to show before or after the input field, and whether it needs some sort of pre-processing before it can be sent to pay world, which then sends to the appropriate mobile money provider. So all of this is configurable directly from the backend. Now let's see how it works on the POS. So this is the normal POS screen, nothing done over here. But as soon as the payment channel is coming, this is where all the mobile money payment methods are added. So this is available to all the merchants directly from the very first moment. So depending on what they are selecting, so if they are let's say they are selecting Airtel Money, then this is how a dialog is coming, where they are we are asking for the mobile number, and yes, you can see the amount that is the 50 euro is also shown below in the dialog. Now this is because there are no charges that this merchant wants to take, or this merchant is allowed is taking the charges on their own side. So the customer just needs to pay 50 euro, and this the input field is where the mobile number is entered. But now for, let's say, for MTN, this thing also requires a separate payers message that can be added, which would be showing up in their statement. So now this has a default value, but this can be separate for separate customers. So this is also the input field which is coming from the backend. So all of this is configurable, and based on whatever values that are entered over here, once the confirmation is done, the normal Odoo's payment workflow continues as it would, and that's how it is working. And that's the end of my demo. Thank you everyone for your time, and you can scan for if you have any questions. Okay.
So I don't see question yet, so I think everything was clear enough.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's clear. I think we can thank him again. Thank you.
Okay.
And enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you guys.